9:30 in the morning. We're outside Parliament. There's been a snap election that's been called. So we're going to announce our snap manifesto with our newest member, Andrew Pontefract.
Yes, hello. Yes, it's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, Andrew.
Yes, yes. Well, I've decided, because of the being a lifelong peer of the Conservative Party, I've decided I've had enough, really, and I'm going to defect to the Anarchist Corporation. So,
welcome on board, sir.
Well, I've looked around and I really don't think the Conservatives represent the people truly anymore now. So I think our manifesto is far more broad and wide.
So would you like to tell our viewers about the Anarchist Corporation manifesto?
Well, the first thing we want to do with the Anarchist Corporation is, as you know, we have a social housing problem in this country.
Okay.
And so what we've decided to do, because Mrs. Merkel is really fantastic with taking in refugees.
Oh, she loves them, yeah.
She does. So we've decided that since the royal family are actually originally German, we're going to get rid of the monarchy. We're going to send them over to Germany. Because of that, that's going to free up that housing. So what we're suggesting people do is they go and sign up now for housing. There's quite a few rooms in Buckingham Palace. Obviously the front room where you look over the Mall will be probably the most preferable room that people want, which I can understand because the views are amazing.
Yeah, incredible views. I've been in there.
Amazing, isn't it?
A couple times, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But one of the things that we're really keen on doing is that we think that the national anthem is quite dull.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? It's
a bit depressing.
It is. And so what we've decided to do is we're probably going to rev it up to about 140 beats per minute.
Okay, so maybe UK garage?
Yeah, a little bit like that. I think that the youngsters these days call it the box and the fish. They do this sort of box fishy type thing. We might incorporate that as part of the anarchist dance. It's quite revolutionary, really, I suppose.
Well, we're all about revolution.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at these stunning houses here, the House of Parliament and the bastion of the British Empire, but we really believe that we need to make some changes. I think our manifesto on education is probably one of the best. So what we intend to do is to scrap all the education processes currently, right now, and we're going to implement, probably from about key stage 2, we're going to take all the children and we're going to send them off for about 6 to 12 months, and we're going to send them to pro-propaganda camps.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is it's going to teach them life skills that we think are very important. For example, we think they should know how to have multiple identities.
Well, that's you have to in this day.
I think so. I think so. It's very important. I think they should also be good at forgery.
Forgery. Well, we need that. What about civil disobedience? Civil disobedience.
Yes, I think we're going to get rid of all civil rights in terms of oppressing civil disobedience. We're going to encourage that at these pro-propaganda camps. We're going to encourage civil disobedience. Because we think it's important that the country is challenged. So what we've decided with Brexit is we're going to arm our citizens with croissants. Because
it's the only way.
I think it is. We've tried so many things. We've even tried sort of, getting them drunk, and that doesn't work either.
We've tried being diplomatic. It just doesn't work.
Well, diplomacy, it just doesn't. Diplomacy is for the upper class.
It's regressive.
Absolutely aggressive. We want progressive. That's what we want. Progressive. So we've decided to arm them with croissants. They're going to throw the croissants and banish them from our shores.
Reptiles, you could say.
Well, it's the Luciferian, it's the reptilian, it's right, that conspiracy goes right to the heart of it.
I mean, a lot of them, they congregate in that building sometimes. I mean,
I know.
Quite a few of them used to, mix it with
them. They've got saunas in there as well as, in the House of Parliament, they've got saunas because reptilians don't respond very well to cold. So often I would go there and they're able to mutate and transform their faces. They sort of do this sort of...
You've seen this firsthand?
I have, yes. I've seen reptilians and
they exist. It's not a lie.
If you look at the Scottish lady from the SNP, Mr. Nicholas Sturgeon. I mean, what a funny looking man. I mean, he's ridiculous.
He's everything that's wrong with the patriarchy.
I tell you, and so one of the first things we're going to do is, one of our manifestos is going to be Sexit.
Okay.
So that will sort of level the playing field. And I think it's really going to make a great difference to the way that we look at the LGBT community. I mean, it could be, Nicola Sturgeon could be called a reptilian to some extent. I mean, what is she?
Maybe non-binary?
Well, probably non-binary. She's probably got nanos in her as well.
Maybe you should respect the pronoun though.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should be careful what we respect. Really, it's actually, we have one of the best green policies there is, which is to build a huge hangar, and all the planes will fly underneath that hangar, which will contain all the chemtrails.
That's it. Because what were they doing with the chemtrails before to us?
I know.
What did they do?
I know. Bioforming us. They were depositing heavy metals in our brain. As well, and obviously blocking out the sun so we couldn't see Nibiru and Planet X coming in. I mean, we all know Planet X exists.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, and they're going to block that out. Now, we've also looked at various things like taxes. We really want to get rid of all taxes altogether. We're just going to annihilate taxes.
Abolish,
Totally abolish them. Totally abolish them. But there will be a small fee, obviously. We'll call it a contribution if you want.
Yeah. Subscription fee, maybe.
Subscription. Yes, that's a very good word, and that will be to live freely in this anarchic, corporation. It's very important too that we're recognised, for example. So this anarchic corporation, you might ask, well, what are we going to use in terms of symbology? Well, I've drawn a little sort of thing here. We really don't have computer graphics yet, because obviously we're a new party.
Yeah.
So you can see it's sort of you can see it's a triangle.
So there's maybe a spiritual leader at the top?
Well, that's one of the things we've talked about, is a spiritual leader at the top. He will be the ultimate leader. And so if you look at the symbol, so what we're going to do is we're going to have this sort of, if I sort of show to the camera, that's all right.
Go for it.
Symbol like this.
Yeah.
And we suggest that the people almost, instead of saying hello and shaking hands, and they probably do this to their forehead like that.
Yeah.
It's a way of showing loyalty.
Commitment.
Absolutely,
to the cause.
We need this. We need this commitment. We've looked at, for example, we've looked at the old people. We think they're very useful. They're very, very useful.
They can be.
Yeah, they can be. They're good at cooking and looking after children. So we've decided to incorporate them. And we also recognise tourism and the necessity for tourism in this country, and why it's really important. So one of the things we've decided to do, especially in London, is to create tourist pavements. So the tourists can stop, congregate, and just look up.
Take pictures.
Yeah. It's important, and literally just, when they're walking, they suddenly stop. We want to create a congestion for that. In fact, I tell you what, it's quite interesting. I went to boarding school. Since then, it's sort of, I realised that I've become a conformist in some ways. And so, for example, this tie, I'm going to get rid of this tie. This is a revolutionary statement.
It's the first step, first step to rebellion, the first step to revolution.
Yes, yeah.
You're witnessing.
So I want you all to throw away your ties. Anybody who belongs to the Anarchist Corporation, I suggest we throw away ties. That's gone. Ties are a thing of the past. I think donuts on a Friday, we've decided that's very good for school children. It ups their sugar levels. It makes them hyper. It helps them to rebel, disobey teachers for the indoctrination in class that they're being taught.
Obviously, we've left the European Union, but we're obviously forming the Anarchist Union, and with the more progressive states.
Yes. Well, in terms of progressive states, I admire Venezuela. They've got it right. Their policy on their currency policy, their fiscal studies, absolutely amazing. Now the other one I really admire, partly because he has this absolutely amazing haircut.
Yeah. Charisma as well.
Well, he's got charisma. Is North Korea.
Yeah.
And like
Kim Jong-un. For those of you who don't know.
That's the chappie. And he's always smartly dressed. He does an amazing parade. I mean, throws an
amazing parade. I think we might have to replicate that.
I think
eventually.
so. We have to look at them, and we have to admire their policies.